Hello and welcome to this day in history for December 7th. December 7th is the 341st day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 24 days remaining until the end of the year. Today's word is Spartan. The word Spartan refers to a native or inhabitant of ancient Sparta, a person of great courage and fortitude, or of relating to Sparta in ancient Greece, marked by strict self-discipline and avoidance of comfort and luxury, undaunted by pain or danger. I am not a Spartan. I have a little bit of self-discipline, but I do not avoid comfort. I'm somewhat undaunted by pain, but probably not in the way that the Spartans were, and I avoid danger at all costs. And today we're going to go back to the year 1787, when Delaware became the first state to ratify the Constitution. In Dover, Delaware, the U.S. Constitution was unanimously ratified by all 30 delegates to the Delaware Constitutional Convention, making Delaware the first state of the modern United States. In 1805, Lewis and Clark temporarily settled in Fort Clatsop. Having spied the Pacific Ocean for the first time a few weeks earlier, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark crossed to the south shore of the Columbia River near modern-day Portland and began building the small fort that would be their winter home. In 1842, the first concert of the New York Philharmonic, founded by Uri Corelli Hill. 1869, American outlaw Jesse James commits his first confirmed bank robbery in Gallatin, Missouri. 1904, comparative fuel trials between warships HMS Spiteful and HMS Petrel. Spiteful was the first warship powered solely by fuel oil, and the trials led to the obsolescence of coal in the ships of the Royal Navy. December 7th of 1928 is the birthday of American linguist and philosopher Noam Chomsky. This day in 1928 is also the birthday of American race car driver Mickey Thompson. I hadn't realized he was born that long ago. 1932, German-born Swiss physicist Albert Einstein was granted an American visa. 1941, December 7th, Pearl Harbor was bombed. Now, you'll remember that yesterday I told you that the Japanese Army had sent a decoy fleet off toward Thailand, while Admiral Yamamoto took off towards Hawaii. We left off with him giving his men a pep talk, and so it is that on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, at 7:55 in the morning Hawaii time, a Japanese dive bomber bearing the red symbol of the rising sun of Japan on its wings appeared out of the clouds above the island of Oahu. A swarm of 360 Japanese warplanes followed, descending on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor in a ferocious assault. The surprise attack struck a critical blow against the U.S. Pacific Fleet and drew the United States irrevocably into World War II. Sounds like those Japanese fighter pilots had something of a Spartan nature. In 1947, American baseball player and sportscaster Johnny Bench was born on this day. In 1954, American businesswoman and politician and 27th governor of Oklahoma, Mary Fallon, was born on this day. 1956, American basketball player and coach Larry Bird was born on this day. Every time I hear the name Larry Bird, I think of my mother. Had a little cockatiel that she called Larry Bird. She had that bird cage in her office, and she'd go into the office of a morning, and Larry would greet her in his little birdly way, and she would say, "Hello, Larry." And so he took to saying "Hello, Larry" back to her, and then she'd laugh. Before long, Larry would also mimic her laugh, and it was just the funniest thing. She'd say, "Hello, Larry," and he'd say, "Hello, Larry" back. She'd laugh, and he'd laugh. And then he'd go off on a round of, "Hello, Larry." He sounded just like her. It was uncanny. Larry Bird. In 1963, Instant Replay made its debut during the Army-Navy football game in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States. 1970, American cartoonist, sculptor, and author Rube Goldberg died. On December 7 of 1972, Apollo 17, the last Apollo moon mission, was launched. The crew took the photograph known as the Blue Marble as they left Earth. 1982 was the first execution by lethal injection. This took place at the state penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas, and I must say that I'm actually surprised that it was that late in history. I guess I thought that had happened quite a bit sooner. 1988, earthquakes wreak havoc in Armenia. The two tremors, only minutes apart, were measured at 6.9 and 5.8 in magnitude, and were felt as far away as Georgia, Turkey, and Iran. On December 7, 1989, Sugar Ray Leonard fought Roberto Duran for the third and final time. Sugar Ray Leonard triumphed over a lackluster Roberto Duran in a unanimous 12-round decision at the Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas. On December 7 of 2011, Ocean's 11 remake opened in theaters. This was a caper film featuring an all-star ensemble cast including George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, Bernie Mac, Don Cheadle, Andy Garcia, and Julia Roberts. It opened in theaters on this day. This was a remake of the 1960 film of the same name, which featured the so-called Rat Pack actors Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop, and Angie Dickinson. On December 7 of 2016, the English musician Greg Lake, one of the members of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, died on this day at the age of 69. If you've been watching this series for a while, you might remember that we talked about Greg Lake on his birthday. I found a clip of him singing in the Court of the Crimson King, which is linked in the show notes. Interesting lyrics, that one. And I think that's going to do it for us today. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And please share this video with others. And check out my other channel, 8 Susquehanna. I'll be adding new content there soon. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Okie dokie, Smokey. Just read the words. Just read the words. Having a little trouble with my words today. That's a lot of words. Sometimes when you read the words, it's not quite enough if you haven't put enough words in there to begin with. Hope I pronounced that right. Thank goodness for editing. So many edits. There I am with my Greta braid, but I'm not Scoldy. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? She's not a man. Did I do this whole thing without a microphone? Dadgummit. This is why I don't do live shows.